everybody. Welcome to the Solar Pakistan Virtual Conference, organized by FACT Exhibitions Private Limited. FACT Exhibitions is one of the leading exhibitions and conferences organizing company in Pakistan. We specialize in industrial and corporate trade shows, and with a portfolio of over 25 industrial sectors, and being the UFI approved event organizing company. The events organized by FACT Exhibitions are absolutely in accordance with international standards. As we are all aware, with the current pandemic situation, industry professionals are looking to get updates and connect with experts in their respective fields, and to meet and network with the industry. So FACT Exhibitions, as the organizer of Solar Pakistan, which is Pakistan's only dedicated renewable energy exhibition and conference, has decided to facilitate and cater the needs of the solar industry through this initiative, which is the Pakistan's first virtual solar exhibition and conference, dated 17th and 18th March, today being the first day of the conference. Over the past few months, FACT Exhibitions has organized a series of successful webinars covering different topics which are relevant to the local solar industry and introducing new ideas. And after those successful webinars, FACT Exhibition now has decided to take the initiative to organize a high-level informative virtual conference on the solar energy situation in Pakistan and worldwide. The idea is to facilitate and cater to the needs of the industry, to allow them to network and bring together and exchange ideas. As we know that the industry professionals are always looking to know about top trends in the solar industry in Pakistan as well as worldwide, and we have an international audience with us today. Global leaders and future strategists will open a forthcoming discussion for solar professionals to stay engaged with each other and attempt for everybody to keep a step ahead. We would like to especially thank our valued sponsors who have helped us to make this event possible. For all attendees, please note that you can also view the recorded conference on the FACT Exhibitions YouTube channel, which is fakt.tv. For the opening, our guest of honor is Mr. Zaigham, and he's Mr. Zaigham Rizvi. He's joined us today on the session. And Mr. Zaigham is he's the chief guest for the opening ceremony. He's the chairman of the Prime Minister Housing Task Force of the Government of Pakistan. In addition, we have with us we have with us as the first speaker Mr. Salim Khan Tanoli. He's the chief executive officer of FAKT Exhibitions. He's also a director of UFI, the Global Association of the Exhibition Industry. He's a senior vice president of the German-Pakistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he's a vice president of Asia Advertisement Association. Mr. Salim, I would welcome you to please give a few opening remarks for the event today. Thank you. Over to you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, Vakas. I would like to thank Mr. Zaigham Rizvi for accepting our invitation as the chief guest of today's conference. So, as you already introduced me, my name is Salim Khan Tanoli. I'm CEO of FACT Exhibitions Private Limited. So, we are organizing this first virtual solar exhibition and conference from today and tomorrow. So, I would like to thank to all our sponsors, SunGrow, GrowArt, Huawei, China Solar, and thanks to you. So I will not take much time, and we already have spent 11 minutes, so I would like to request you to invite the next guest to speak about Solar Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salim, for your introductory remarks. Moving forward, the first speaker today is our guest of honor, Mr. Zaigham Rizvi. He will be speaking on the role of renewable energy in the environment and economy. Mr. Zaigham Rizvi is up. The mic is with you now.
Thank you, sir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm really grateful for this honor, but I will be calling myself as today the chief student, because there's so much to learn that we all are here to learn from our honorable guests from Trina, from Huawei, and SunGrow, and all. So this is really my primary objective is I have been asked to make some overview of the situation and presentation. So what I would suggest is that rather than going into technicalities, which our honorable guests from Trina and SunGrow and all that, they will be talking about technicalities of the solar system, solar power. I'll be talking what really the benefits of this would be in the. It's okay. Screen share. And just let me ensure the screen share is there. Pen slide there. Yes. So you see, what I'll be talking about is first there are three main critical aspects of the renewable energy, and the primary source of renewable energy which can offer the retail as well as the wholesale solution is the solar power. Though three primary is environmental, and we in Pakistan, I'm feeling a bit sad and sorry to say, are not really fully conscious and supportive of the environmental aspect of the solar system, and which is that we're not really having a very vibrant, active environmental consideration market, the carbon credit market, and while I feel personally that in about 3, 4, 5 years' time, the exporting industry might get adversely impacted if we will not be environment friendly, will not be having a proper certification that we are clear on carbon credit and clean development mechanism. So environmental consideration of the renewable energy, primarily the solar, is for me is the most important aspect, more than the economic aspect on the macro level and economic aspect on the microeconomic level. So I'll be touching all these three areas in my presentation. So the first thing is, as we all know, is the economic the environmental consideration. As we all know that the renewable energy, and to a certain extent even now emerging role of the coal. They're all are having a negative environmental impact in terms of the carbon generation and carbon credit. So what we really see, for the last about 7, 8 years in Lahore, every year we waste in lots of economic activities because of the smog. Smog is primarily originated because of the carbon in the environment and the dust and the snow falling on that. So this means that we have to really be very cautious of this fact. And for example, in my house, I have a small system of 5 kilowatt. And last year only I saved about 6 tons of carbon. But there is no market I could really sell those. No, it's not from the economic aspect, from the awareness aspect. I know that in Punjab industrial estates, we have Sundar Estate and other states. I gave them a presentation that we should be promoting the carbon credit market so that we really have a vibrant market, and those exporting industries could really buy, if they're short of the carbon credit, to buy from others. For example, in our neighboring country, the carbon is being traded even on the commodity exchange. That's where it should be. So this is what we are really trying to promote primarily. Otherwise, after 3, 4, 5 years, if the importers from West and all that, they will say that I would like to have first the clean development certificate, carbon clean environment certificate, and if we don't have it, we won't be able to export. In America, I see that Apple, IKEA, Best Buy, they have already started having a certificate on the Kyoto Protocol that they are carbon negative, the meaning the clean on the carbon environment. So I think this is the high time, even at the government level. In Pakistan, Alternate Energy Development Board is primarily having the role to monitor the carbon. But I would urge Shahjahan Saab, the current chairman, DG of the Alternate Energy Development Board, is here to really make it vibrant, the monitoring mechanism, consolidation of the surplus carbon credit, so that we start developing it. So this is the first thing. Second is the macroeconomic the aspect. You see, in Pakistan, where we are having most of the energy based on the imported fossil fuels. So, and we are a country which are having a tremendous balance of trade deficit, and we are that resulting into our current account deficits. So the dollar which we are wasting on import of these non-renewable energy sources of energy, if we could really move to the solar and local market apart from the environmental consideration, this would be really saving us a lot of foreign exchange as well and replacing gradually the developing world. They have all the targets by 2030, apart from the and on the economic that they will be having 60%, 70%, and some countries are targeting being from the renewable energy sources. And last but not the least is that if I am a decision person to make whether should I have in my factory or in my commercial building or in my house the renewable energy source, be it solar, be it wind, so I should be knowing that this is saving me economically as well. In Pakistan, what I see is that it's about 4 to 5 years payback period coming up for a solar system, a small solar system I'm talking. For a large scale solar system, it even goes less than 4 years. And then it starts giving you the electricity almost at the zero cost. But what will really give you zero cost, meaning a quality system which will work for next 25, 30 years? Like good PV suppliers, now they are offering performance guarantees over 25, and even some are offering 30 years product warranties of 12 years, and some are now even offering beyond that. Meaning that if I recover my investment in 4 or 5 years, and a good quality system from next 6 to 30 years will continue giving me electricity that is almost a zero cost. That is my microeconomic benefit. So if I install the solar system, environmental benefit I'm giving to the country and the system at large, then the macroeconomic to the economy, saving our very precious foreign exchange. And last but not the least, I am myself getting a huge benefit. And as I say, that in a good solar system after 30 years doesn't mean it's finished. No, from a 96, 98% efficiency, it might drop the efficiency to 80, 82%. Even after 30 years, the system will still work slightly at a lower efficiency. And that's why in America, they say solar for life, meaning average life expectancy in America is about 82 years. And average life people install solar system or rooftop solar is about 40, meaning next 40 years, they don't have to pay electricity and all that. This is where these important things are coming. Now, good thing is that we are having net metering as well. There's an additional microeconomic benefit that I can sell my surplus units to the solar, to the institution like WAPDA or K Electric or other. Yes, at the moment we are not having that lucrative net metering system, which I would really urge that our authorities really should promote the concept of net metering on net basis. Because in K Electric and all that, they are not really the units they buy. They are buying at a much lower cost. While in globally, the net means the units supplied and units given back. Net is built. So I would urge that the authorities, like and personally, I would really appeal the new DG chairman of Alternate Energy Development, Mr. Zaigham, that he should really work for promoting this next. Now, what we really see is that eco-friendly environment is that first is the thermal power. We see the problem, nuclear energy is the problem, but we have environment friendly because otherwise nuclear is fine. It's one of the cheapest sources, but for many considerations globally, it's also being discouraged. So we practically remain with the three sources: the biogas, the wind, and the solar, apart from the tidal and all those sources. So what we really see is why solar. As I explained you that my electricity bill goes down if I have a rooftop solar. The solar system currently has lots of incentives, and I expect the government is going to further incentivize the components like the PVs and also the inverters and all that, so as to really further promote local rooftop and commercial scale and industrial scale production of the solar or hybrid system solar company. So, a solar system, as we all know, I don't want to waste your time because you're all learned scholars here, that is insignificant maintenance. What we really need to explain, particularly in the rooftop solars, to the households, that how do we really clean a PV or a panel? Because people sometimes they don't know. And simple words I explain to them is, it's a cleaning of a panel should be like you clean your windshield of the car, meaning avoiding any scratches. So net metering we have talked about, payback period I have talked about. So now we say that all the near sources like wind, the tidal and hydro and all that, I always keep on explaining that all these sources of renewable energy, they have a basic origin from the sun. Wind flows because of the temperature differentials created by the sun. Tidal wave, as we all know, origin is that the sun energy takes the water from the ocean to the mountains and brings it back in the form of rivers because of the temperature differences. Hydro and then biomass. So all these sources away from the solar are also basically the renewable energy sources are having their origin from the solar system. Quality, this is very, very important. In Pakistan, there are good quality solar components provider, and the components are about 4 or 5, meaning first most important component is the photovoltaics, then the inverters, then the structures, particularly in Karachi where the corrosion and all that is, then the cables, and above the quality of the design system. Let me go one by one. PV's Alternate Energy Development Board has very kindly specified the quality standards of a PV system, and they would like that an exporter, the vendor should certify that the PV is being exported to Pakistan meet those quality standards. Then they would like to have third-party inspection at the time of shipment, that maybe SGS and all that, to further assure that whatever vendor is saying on the quality meets those quality standards as specified by the Alternate Energy Development Board. But what the problem we find here is, let me first go for the inverters. Similarly, quality standards have been specified by the Alternate Energy Development Board. And all the vendors at 2 stages, first at their own level, and then the third-party inspection, they should certify that the equipment is really and all that. Structures is very, very important. We are not having too much penetration of structures, but Pakistan mostly steel structures are being used, which should be having a proper gauge, proper strength, wind, the speed designs, 80, 90, whatever the specifications are there in different areas, that the structure should be installed according to those. And I think here again, I would urge upon the Alternate Energy Development Board to play a role and make certain specifications on design of the structure and material to be used in the structure, if it is steel or the aluminum. And sometimes now the plastic is also PVC is also being used. Cables, if I'm not wrong, I understand that Alternate Energy Development Board has also given some quality specifications for the cables to be used. Now, the last but not the least is, above all, the quality of this system being designed. In our neighboring country, I see they have the 3 levels they ensure the quality, meaning the design. In Pakistan, very few people, solar companies have the certified solar professionals. First, they have to be engineers, then the certified solar professionals. We don't have at all in Pakistan any solar certification program that we have in Australia and many other countries. And some people in some companies in Pakistan do have their qualified engineering staff which have further solar certifications. And I would urge upon again, Alternate Energy Development Board to ensure in India we find that they are the system. I have in fact have the pleasure of meeting visiting those offices in India as well, who ensure that a solar company has also the staff which is professionally competent, meaning engineers and all that. And second, having proper solar certification in design, installation, and all those levels. So I think this is what probably our authorities who are responsible to ensure the quality should also have system on ground inspection system as well. And maybe I have been working that maybe they could use the academia like Karachi, NED University have very good equipment to monitor the quality of the PVs at the moment. But they have a big staff and students who are qualified in solar. So maybe on-site inspection to give you a certification to Alternate Energy Development, satisfaction that the system has been designed properly, a proper team, and then installed according to the specifications. What I said is the wind velocity and all that. And third stage would be what we call a performance audit, whether the system is performing or not, meaning design quality standards, installation quality standards, and then performance quality standards. And I think we need to develop institutions of professionals in the private sector maybe, or maybe using the academia which are having the solar departments, like I use the name of NED University. So I would urge that ADB, and I know that it is already in contact, but maybe it needs to accelerate its association with academia, and maybe at some stage, like in India, we have these three segments being assured by the quality of design, quality of the installation, and performance. So I think these are the stages where we really need to move forward. This is just a slide to show you that what are the benefits of rooftop solar in terms of the capacity and the economy. This is again sorry, sir. Okay, the rooftop solar, we see that depending upon the rooftops, if we really have the properly designed, and also in terms of some stages, even the beautification to be ensured, and having the proper mechanism for the cleaning of the panels on the rooftop. We have certain cases here which show you that they are really based on net metering, not only saving, but in fact they are also being paid back by the K Electric. Now, one thing I would like to also mention about this is the rural electrification program. Rural electrification program is, about 50% of the system is rural habitat, and I think where we have already attended, I was part of the team set up by the Asad Umar Saab, how to really incorporate the solar system for the power. We have the mini grids. In villages also we can have the solar, we can promote the biomass in certain villages, maybe also the wind. But solar is which offers the retail solutions, rooftop from one, hybrid solutions could also be there. Biomass in India, if you go and see, the biomass is now becoming very popular. In Pakistan it is, but it's not to that extent. But I would say solar is something we really need to ensure, even in the villages, either standalone retail solutions, or we really need to also have the mini grid concept. We all know that the villages, for the irrigation purposes, we have the diesel water pumps. Now, government of Balochistan has decided, and I was part of the team where this exercise was being conducted, that they have decided to replace all diesel power water pumps from diesel to the solar system. And recently also they have announced a huge tender replacing all the diesel pumps to the, and Punjab is also considering that. In fact, Punjab is also going a step forward for the electric vehicles, they are going to ask all the petrol stations to install the EV chargers and then the solar system, so that when as we move on more the electric vehicles, the system should be very much supporting. These are, the penetration which shows that Pakistan is quite behind, which is we should be feeling very sorry of that. Negative side is that we are way behind in installation of the solar. For example, in our neighboring country, the target was about 100 gigawatt, and they've already achieved about 50 gigawatts. We are maybe 4 or 5 gigawatts, not even there. So we are a bit slow. But this is also a positive sign, that a promise as well that there is to be done, which is an attraction for the companies like Trina, Huawei, and others, Sungrow and Sunrise, and all those J and all Jinkos, that Pakistan is now moving forward. So we have a huge potential to grow, and these people should have really access to this emerging market. Since I know for sure, and we all know it sitting here, that the government is quite committed. Even in the Prime Minister in the recent speech talked too much in support of the solar system, and I'm sure that the next more measures, I'm sure Mr. Zaigham will talk more about it, how the government is going to support the movement from the non-renewable to the renewable, and primarily the solar system, which offers both the retail and the wholesale solutions. Net metering, we talked about it, and we know that net metering is also very, very important in the sense that it gives you a surplus as well. Yeah, just two, three cases where you see that a person who is using the net metering, in fact, every month, he is getting money out of the government levels. So this is meaning that when we install solar system, if we really ensure quality of the solar system, performance of the solar system, in materials quality, as well as design quality and performance audit, that means you can imagine this savings coming to a small, I think it's 20 kilowatt system, giving him every month huge amounts of saving as well, rather than paying the bills to the K Electric. This is another case which is a smaller system of 10 kilowatt. Similar example, you see that net metering is giving a benefit. So meaning that people not only recover their money in 4 or 5 years of the rooftop solar, and larger plants maybe less, they also go for the net metering basis, even the earn money. In Sundar Industrial Estate, now there is a large initiatives to install. I know of a factory which is going to install about 250 kilowatt per acre size of the factory, meaning the huge potential, which now they are very well aware and they are going to do it. Yeah, these again the benefits of the rooftop solar. I talked about it. I've talked about the carbon credit, and in case of India, it's huge. As I said, the carbon is being even traded. In Pakistan, I think Zaigham will talk more about it, but we really need to develop a mechanism, because all these inverters of Huawei and others, they are very, very efficient inverters, and they have the features where they will monitor the carbon credit, and through the Wi-Fi system, even if on daily basis, they can even give the information that where they stand about it. Recommendation. This is what I'm saying is that rooftop solar, we really have to work more. That institutions like K Electric, WAPDA, and all that should really come forward. Like in America, you see one of the main power producers is Pepco. They approach the households and they tell them have solar system, because what they say is this is electricity made from a residential system. Not only gives our benefit of carbon credit, because the PEPCO uses those carbon credit with further subsidies, and then the electricity which is given to the residential people at a lower rate is given to industry as a higher rate. So even the power production and distribution companies, they have their own benefits. So meaning, what I'm saying, that they are the promoters of the solar rooftops, and they approach to the residential household individually, also as well as collectively, for motivating the people to really install solar, the power producing and distribution companies, which is very, very important. I think here we should also really reach to that level, rather than at the moment, if someone goes for solar rooftop and then he goes for net metering, is a very cumbersome process for K Electric or WAPDA. For 3, 4, 5 months they take for registering their net metering system. So I think these are the quality standard. As I said, I've already talked about rural development. I think because our about 40 to 50% of our habitat, rural habitat and underserved very urban habitat, they do not have either the electricity, or we call the unserved or semi-served. Semi-served meaning they are facing power outages of 12 hours or more. And that means more than 50% of the population is either unserved or underserved. And then if we cannot really go for electricity basis, because the transmission systems are weak and there are massive power losses in the transmission system, somewhere at 25 to 35%. So it's better to promote mini grids and localized solar system, so that you don't have that much load on the existing poor transmission system. I think with this I close. I'm not sure if I've taken more time than allocated. So if your question, I would like to move, take the screen back.
Thank you, Mr. Zaigham, for sharing your wonderful thoughts with us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Zaigham Rizvi. Some very interesting ideas shared, and informative discussion, especially the point about carbon credits. I think that's something which in the Pakistan market, we would definitely need some infrastructure and regulatory discussion on that. And also other ideas which were shared about the quality standards and how to improve those. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Zaigham Rizvi was also the guest of honor for us for the opening of the exhibition. Moving forward, we would like to invite our next speaker,